today with Paul Sinha. Lovely to speak to you, sir.
Lovely to be here. Nice to meet you, Nick.
No, and you, sir, and you. So listen, kind of obviously people recognise you these days from the chase, but for many people they might not know that you're actually a qualified GP. Tell me, why did you leave, or why did you kind of move from the medical profession into comedy?
It's a funny old time to ask the question, given the state of depression in much of the NHS. But yes. I was, like a lot of Asian kids, pressured into a career path that wasn't necessarily suited to where I wanted to be in life. I was always quite clever as a kid, and everyone assumed that because my dad was a doctor, my granddad was a doctor, that I should sort of head the medical way. Yeah. But it really wasn't where my passion or love or particular skill set lay, and I was kind of treading water in the career. And so by a miracle, I sort of inveigled my way into a stand-up comedy career in the late 1990s that I just kept pecking at again and again and again until eventually I managed to open the door to becoming a professional at the turn of the 21st century, if you remember that far back.
Yes, just about.
I did both for a while. I was a professional comedian and a GP for a while. But then I realised I was busy enough as a comedian to financially take the plunge and go live your dreams rather than live your parents' dreams.
Do you look back with fond memories, or was it just a time you went through?
Fond memories, of course, in the sense that a lot of my best friends in life are doctors and people that I met on the journey there. But at the same time, no regrets in jumping off the medical bandwagon and doing something different. There's no regrets.
Yeah. So that kind of, obviously now kind of with the quizzing, with comedy, and formerly with medicine, very varied careers. Kind of, do you have a favourite? Do you have things which you see similarities between different areas?
No, I don't have a favourite. I think life isn't too complicated to just put everything into boxes and go, I prefer box A to box B to box C. I think everything sort of links up in your life. I don't think I'd be the comedian that I was if I hadn't been a doctor. I don't think I'd be the quizzer that I was if I hadn't been a comedian, and I don't think I'd be the doctor I was if I hadn't been vaguely funny. And so it all sort of links up in a way, and they're not isolated boxes. I mean, if I had to pick a favourite, it wouldn't be medicine that much. But as I say, I have no regrets about that particular career path. But I'm a man of many parts.
Yes.
And I don't think it's necessarily useful to just constantly be rating each part and going, what's your favourite?
So are you? Sorry, just to interrupt, but it's really interesting for me. Just kind of like we live in a world now where more and more people are having these multi-dimensional careers. Kind of because actually people don't just want to be stuck in one box. Is it something that you're a passionate advocate of, or is it something?
Very much, I'm a passionate advocate, and at a time when our Prime Minister is asking people that people should be forced to do maths.
Yes.
My opinion is very different, which is that people should be encouraged to explore their skills that they believe they have. Their skills and passions shouldn't be drummed out of them to force them into a singular path. And I think that in my case, at the age of 15, I was asked to pick A-levels that defined me for the rest of my life. And I think we stick people into boxes too early in their lives. And at the age of 15, you just don't know what you want to be doing with your life. And I did a degree in medicine, which is a very vocational degree, in that you do a degree because there's a big job at the end of it for you. But I very much more in favour of the idea of doing a degree to give you options and increase those options by doing that degree.
So one of the things I'm fascinated by in my life with kind of working with speakers is I get asked a lot about kind of who should I listen to kind of in the world of speaking in order to become better, and my answer is invariably go to a comedy store on a Monday night and listen to comedians, and then go get on a Tuesday night and the same comedians doing the same set, which is a completely different set but the same set. As a comedian yourself, what do you believe makes a successful comedian? Kind of, and are there specific things that you feel are natural, or is it all learned behaviour?
Oh, it's never all learned behaviour. I wish it was that simple. The best comedians have both. The best comedians have an innate natural ability and a hard work ethic in order to get better and better and better. I wouldn't necessarily put myself in the innate ability. I would never class myself in the naturally gifted category when it comes to comedy. I worked hard to craft jokes I tell on stage. I've got no particular performance background, apart from a little bit of local amateur drama. I came in to comedy as a doctor. I was a junior doctor when I started comedy, with very little performance background. But I worked really hard, and you know, I've now been performing stand-up comedy all over the world. I'm a comedy store veteran. I've been playing the Comedy Store for more than 20 years now, which is pretty amazing.
Yes.
And the reason I've been doing that, despite not being a natural, is that I know where a joke is, and I know how to write a joke, and I know how to deliver a joke. And like a lot of jobs, that comes with experience and craft and the willingness to learn. And when people look at me sometimes and walk up to me and say, "I could never do what you do," I'd like to think that that's the case for most jobs. The most jobs that we do, most people can't do because they don't have the training or the ability. And I compare it to a guy who's flying a plane and has to land the plane. Yeah. And he literally has the lives of 200 people in his hands. And for him, he doesn't bat an eyelid because it's what he's trained to do. And what he's learned how to do to get to the position where he's not worried at all. And that's how I feel as a comedian, is that self-confidence is a real key. You've got to believe that you're funny, and you've got to believe that you're the right person for the job. Because self-confidence is, you know, people can smell a lack of confidence from a mile off. Yeah. And if you want the audience to find you funny, you've got to believe that you're funny.
Brilliant. Paul, thanks so much for your time today. It's been lovely chatting.
Thank you.
And have a great day.
Thank you very much.